For cheap FIFA 23 coins, make sure to check out MMOEXP.com to get fast and reliable coins, and make sure you use code VIPER at checkout, get yourself a 5% discount. The weekend just gone, I played 20 accounts of FUT champs. That is so many games of FIFA, and I have found some custom tactics that are a little bit under the radar, a formation that doesn't get used so much anymore. That works really well. And this is the team that we do use. We don't really change our team anymore, unfortunately. It's very much set in stone what we use, and this is what we use all of the time now. And yeah, I've played a lot of FIFA. I'm confident in my abilities. That is on old and new gen that we've tested these tactics that you're going to see out on. And yeah, there's nothing really to say about the team. There's nothing to really force with the team either that you need. But it's going to be the 4-2-2-2. So as we get into the instructions, guys, you're going to be able to see here that the 4-2-2-2 is an interesting formation. The reason it's interesting is because it's quite wide, even though it's two cams instead of a right mid and left mid. It still sets up quite wide. So you're going to have that ability to go down the line very often and look for the cutbacks. But first of all, looking at the strikers, we've got Sadio Mane and Kylian Mbappe. What I would suggest with your two strikers here is have one that's good in the air and has 5-star skills. And that's all you really need. As long as they're really fast as well, which they should be at this time of FIFA, you will be fine. I like to have as many 5-star skills as humanly possible, so we've got 3 in the 4 in attack here. Mane is on stay central and stay forward. Your big man, if you've got Harry Kane, for example, should be on this. And then your other striker, who's a bit smaller, very good agility and balance, and is very good at turning, should be on stay central, getting behind, and stay forward. So here, I've got Mane, who's not the best as a target man, but he's okay. He's good in the air and he's got good strength. And Mbappe can also do that job as well, but I love Mbappe in behind. And, you know, it's team of the season Mbappe, so you have to utilise him in that way, in my opinion. Stay central, stay forward for Mane. Stay central, getting behind, stay forward on Mbappe to run in behind constantly and cause havoc for your opponent. And then our two cams are both on comeback on defence and get into the box for cross. So what happens here is if they're attacking, they're both going to be getting into the box to look for cutbacks for each other, which is nice. And cutbacks are so broken on this game. They're one of the main ways to score. So try and utilise it in that way. Get into the box for cross is very important to utilise the cutbacks well. And what I would recommend, if you can, have both of your cams have below 89 shot power and the outside foot shot. We've only got that with Modric. Modric is so good in this position, I found. Because come back on defence, he's got good defending, so he's able to support really nicely there. When he goes forward, you can always look for that Trivela as well. And as I said, they sit quite wide, even though there's no stay wide option or stay central option on them. They do sit quite wide, so take that into account. That's why they're so good for cutbacks. And of course, as I said, if you can get the Trivelas to work, they won't work on Diaby because he's got plus 90 shot power, but on Modric, they're so good. So you want a right footer on the right hand side and left footer on the left hand side if you can do both with Trivelas. And you can really score a lot of easy goals from that. So try and get that done, guys. But make sure they're fast as well. Make sure they're good at getting down the line. Make sure they've got strength. Make sure they've got good passing. But you have got that with both Modric and Diaby. As we move into our two CDMs, you're going to want one of them on balanced and nothing else other than cover centre. Both on cover centre here. But your more attacking option, try on just balance. And if you don't like that, you can always switch to stay on attacking on both of them. But you want one of them to kind of support and not just be sitting so deep. We've got Valverde on cut passing lane, stay back on attacking and cover centre, and then just Goretzka on cover centre. As I said, the reason for that is you don't want your two CDMs to stagnate and just stay where they are. You're going to need a little bit of help going forward with them. So, you know, the other thing is as well about Valverde, it might not work for all of you in this case. He's so fast, he's a really good ball carrier, and he can drive up the pitch when he likes as well. So, you know, if you drive up with Valverde, Goretzka will sit back and vice versa. Even though only one of them is on sale while attacking, they'll both cover for each other, which is nice. And cover centre is really important here as well because you've got your wide cover from your two cams and also, of course, your fullbacks. So, yeah, just make sure you set it up like that and that will work a treat for you. And then our two fullbacks are just on stay while attacking. If I want some support from my fullbacks, I just press up and left on the D-pad and that will put them onto attacking fullbacks, and you just can turn that off to put them on stay while attacking. So test that out as well. It's the best way to kind of override the tactics in game because you don't want to pause the game all the time, right? You want to keep your momentum sometimes. and that will allow you to do so. As we move on to the custom tactics, actually, press after possession loss, love that. 50 width, 65 depth, balance, direct passing, 55 width, 8 players in the box, 2 on corners and 3 kicks. Let's go through the press after possession loss. This is gegenpress. Works really well in this formation, especially because we don't have fast build-up on in this formation as well. Press after possession loss is really good for getting the ball back quickly, and you'll have a lot of options and a lot of players converging on the opponent because you've got the comeback on defense on your 2 cams as well. It's very, very hard to keep the ball under pressure in this formation because you've got so many players converging on the opponent, and that is why I like press after possession loss. 50 width, pretty standard. This is a good formation, just keep that on 50. 65 depth if you've got really fast defenders. I mentioned that in a previous video. If your defenders are really fast, it's nice to have this high because of offside traps and catching the opponent offside a lot, and with how easy it is to recover with the centre backs on the game right now, means that you can't really afford to put this higher right now, even if you're not a good defender. So 65 depth is my favourite. I usually have fast build up on here, but in the 4-2-2 I don't really like it. I feel like you've got so much pressure because when you don't have the ball, you're gegenpressing. But when you do have the ball, you've got so many options for the counter attack. It's almost like a fast build up anyway, because the comeback on defense is, once we get the ball back and we're counter attacking, the 2 cams are pushing up the pitch so quickly because they're so fast and got great attack positioning that they just bomb forward anyway. So you don't really need the fast build up on this. It kind of leaves you a bit exposed if you do get the ball that gets turned over, unfortunately, in the midfield or something. So keep this on balanced. Direct passing is my favourite still though. Works really well for going in behind, works really well for fast passes, very good for tiki-taka, and very good for driven passes. Driven passes are so OP on this game that I really do think you should be using it, and the direct passing really does allow you to do that correctly. I've got the width a little bit higher than our usual, we usually have it like 45, 40, maybe 30. But in this formation, we want it to stay wide because we're using the cutbacks here quite a lot. So 55 width, just a little bit more for the 2 cams to stay a little bit wider, as you don't have the stay wide instruction available to them. Will help you there as well. 8 players in the box for this one as well. Just for the cutbacks again. Very good for crossing, very good for cutbacks. If you have the right players up front, you're going to be able to cross quite a lot. And of course, with the get into the box for cross on Modric and DRB, 2 cams, this is also going to work really well for them cutbacks too. Corners and free kicks is entirely up to you, whatever you like there. As I said in every video that I've ever made, I like to have it on 2 because I like going short and looking for the Trivela option with Modric. So that is why we have that there. And if I can't do the Trivela, if it's not the right side of the pitch, I will look for a finesse shot. So that is why we have that on that, guys. And those are the 4-2-2 custom tactics. I do really like them. They're very solid defensively. They're very good going forward. It's a very solid formation if you want to hold on to a lead. But it also works very well if you're in a tough game. If you're in a tough game, 0-0, you need a goal, but you need to be really solid and rigid defensively. This formation works an absolute treat. Guys, if you did enjoy today's video, leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss a video. But guys, that's going to be it for me for now. So take care.